Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we're going to talk about something near and dear to my heart, the top 10 list. Top 10 lists have often been polarizing for me because while they are great content to make for a creator and they're pretty easy, some people even have channels fully based around them, I find them kind of lazy, especially when people throw out a top 10 list with no real rationale behind it, and it's just kind of like, this is a top 10, and this is not even really well thought out. And the reason I even talk about this today is because I discovered this website called Hobbylark, and the person who owns it, I don't know him personally, seems to be a good guy, seems to have a lot of experience with a bunch of different things, and I don't want to shit on the guy for just writing about things he enjoys. What I do want to shit on him for is his awful approach to a specific top 10 list, Top 10 Ritual Monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I want to point out also the verbiage he uses on this list as we go through and look at just some of his more general ones, including Top 10 Malefic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Which I'm pretty sure they have 13 cards, so that wasn't a really hard list to make, but I suppose whatever generates the content. We really want to focus on Top 10 Strongest Ritual Monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today because this list made me laugh. Now, Ritual Monsters started out pretty lackluster for many years. They weren't worth the investment you had to put into them. You had your occasional card like Relinquish that might have been somewhat okay back in the day, but typically Ritual Monsters either had no effects, had effects that were lackluster, or just didn't have the support to become playable in a meta standpoint. That has obviously changed nowadays. We've had decks like Necros, we've had decks like Drytron, we've had other decks that, weren't necessarily at the same level, but could still compete somewhat, utilizing rituals, things like Herald of Perfection, Saphira, Queen of Dragons. The long story short, Ritual Monsters have definitely improved over time in the card game and have seen a lot more representation. This gentleman took it upon himself to create a top 10 strongest Ritual Monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! List, and I am excited to go through it with you because it is fascinating. Cards you think would be on this list, cards that are just iconic, Hungry Burger, things like that, not on this list, okay? Not on this list. Whatever you think is going to be on this list, I would almost guarantee it is not. Let's take a look at the top 10 strongest ritual monsters as explained to us by the gentleman who wrote this article, and then see if we can't maybe tweak it a little bit with our own top 10 strongest ritual monsters and compare and contrast and see if there's any noticeable differences. Just a bit of backstory on this. This is hobbylark.com. It does seem like an interesting site, and there is a lot of cool stuff there. So if you want to check it out and show some support, I'm always happy to, show a little bit of support to a fellow creator. Just maybe avoid the ritual articles if you want actual advice on how to approach building your ritual deck. Alright, so let's get a little bit of context here before we start. An old but formidable type of monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Blue backgrounded ritual monsters consistently strike terror into enemies. With daunting attack scores alongside a plethora of flashy effects, modern ritual behemoths quickly decimate your opponent's life points. Ritual summoning can be costly in terms of card advantage, since it usually requires having a ritual monster and a ritual spell, plus having tributes in either your hand or field. Yet the considerable rewards are well worth the price of admission. But which Azure Gargantuans reign supreme? These are Yu-Gi-Oh's 10 best ritual monsters. 10 best ritual monsters. That's a phrase. But first, review your ritual rules and learn how to play ritual monsters with the frequently asked questions below, or skip straight to the countdown, which includes the following ritual monsters. So, this guy put together a ritual summon FAQ. I'm not going to go into this one too much because this is mostly fine in terms of helping a new player explain how ritual summoning work. You'll usually tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels. That's a bit different nowadays with cards like Drytron, but more or less the same. Can I revive ritual monsters from the graveyard? Sometimes. Let's say you place one into your graveyard with a discard effect like Lightning Vortex. Again, this article was written in 2021, I just want to point that out. In cases like this where your monster was never summoned, you won't be able to revive that ritual monster. However, if your monster is sent to the graveyard from the field, then you can indeed rejuvenate it. In other words, you have to successfully cast your ritual beast before you can recall it. Wow, the verbiage here is something else. Do ritual monsters use the extra monster zone? No, and again, he sort of works here. Why did Konami use a blue background twice? Aren't Link monsters also blue? Their trickery knows no bounds. Luckily, you can easily tell the difference. Additionally, the card will either say Ritual or Link next to their monster type. Okay, so let's look at the top 10 list, alright? Number 10 on the top 10 best Ritual monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier. Now, I don't know on what top 10 list this card would be. Perhaps top 10, cool artwork with terrible effects. I'm being hyperbolic, but this card has no place on a top 10 list. He says a modernized update on the classic Blackluster Soldier. It matches a Blue Eyes White Dragon in battle with stats with a fierce 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense. Even if you opt to not throw some Gaia monsters into your deck list, they're admittedly an aging unit. You're right, but Lightning Vortex is not. Super Soldiers attack and burn damage more than justify this warrior's inclusion in your ritual build. Just note that you can only summon one copy per turn, a minuscule restriction on a powerful champion. This is hamming it up. So number 10, Blackluster Soldier, no, I don't know. Cyber Angel Dakini, number 9. Neat card. When Cyber Angels first came out, this was a card that was like kind of cute in the deck because it was non-sending removable. Let's see what he says about it. 2,700 attack, 2,400 defense, proves she's in good shape despite her 4 arms and blue complexion. Okay. When Ritual Summoned, it can force your opponent to send a monster they control of their choice to the graveyard, a handy removal that immediately eliminates an opposing force. While Link monsters lack defense scores, negating this ability's helpfulness against them, it's still an excellent addition to your arsenal since it empowers all of your Ritual Titans. Number 9, Dakini. Number 8, Lord of the Red. Now, I've always thought Lord of the Red was a cute card, but I didn't have it on a top 10 best Ritual monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! List. That much is a certainty. Dragon Ritual Effect. We know what it does. Once per turn during each player's turn, if a card or effect is activated, you can target one monster on the field, destroy it. Once per turn during each player's turn, if a card or effect is activated, you can target one spell or trap on the field, destroy it. This is a cute card that does allow you to pop stuff, got quick effect responses. It's just that it's, you know, it's weak and it's not usually worth bringing out. But this isn't the worst card. I wouldn't put it on a top 10. Lord of the Red's battle stats may not impress quite as much. Unless your opponent is purposely avoiding the effect, cards are going to be played on every turn. And that's true. Cards are going to be played on every turn. Guaranteeing the activations, even if they elect to skip their moves, you can use quick plays and traps to meet the criteria. Plus, if they choose to not play cards, they're not playing cards. That is valid, making them sitting ducks for you to hunt. Finally, while Lord of the Red doesn't technically belong to the archetype, it combos well with their best members. Okay, so number 8, Lord of the Red. And again, remember, if you choose not to play cards, you're not playing cards. That's important. A More Factor Pain, the Imagination Drake Overlord at number 7. At number 7. It excels in combat and employs a Savage ability. It does cause your opponent to skip the main phase 1. It's a cute card. It's not good. Negate the effects of all face-up fusion, synchro, and Xyz monsters while they are on the field. It doesn't stop Link, so you can out this with ease. While this dampens your monsters, its focus is on pendulum monsters. You should artfully dodge the debuff. If More Factor is sent to the graveyard, you're able to search and add any Drake Overlord from your deck to your hand. Not only is this a helpful search, but if you lose multiple Amor Factors in a single turn, you can add several new... If you're ritual summoning multiple copies of this in a single turn, I don't know what deck you're playing, but we need to figure out how it's so consistent, is my thought process on this. Number 7. This is his number 7 best ritual card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Number 6 is Gishki Zeal Gygus. Cool card in Gishki, I suppose. I don't know how we're putting this at number 6, but that's fine. I recommend Gishki Aqua Mirror. Well, it is the best Gishki spell, so that's a fair point. It wields several impressive support members designed to let you easily ritual summon. Yeah, but the problem is that it's way too easily stoppable. It's just misleading. Now, here's one I think is actually really interesting. Cyber Angel Natasha. This card is absolutely insane. If you watched the Drytron deck profile video that we did, I think this card is really slept on, but I don't know that it belongs on a top 10 list either. I know what you're thinking. How can a puny creature with a mere 1,000 attack and defense make the list? Trust me. Natasha wields a plethora of tempting abilities. I'm sure she does. The awesome shield not only protects Natasha by negating an attack, but also your other ritual monsters, and with no once per turn errata. Not the Furby she's looking for there. You can foil as many hits as you need. Natasha's revival effect is solid, but again, tempting. Yeah, I see that. I do. It's tempting to say that she has no position at number 5 on the list. And number 4, Ruin Graceful Queen of Oblivion. This is the number 4 best ritual monster in the game. Like, forget Cyber Angel Ben 10, forget Necroz or Brianak. No, this is the one. I don't know what it does. Ritual monsters you can't control can't be destroyed by card effects. It can attack twice during each battle phase. Although she isn't part of the Cyber Angel archetype, she fits their attribute and fits snugly into their deck list. I have never seen someone play this card in Cyber Angels, by the way. She prevents all ritual monsters you control from being destroyed. If combined with Natasha's battle negating abilities, these barriers render your ritual warriors almost invincible. She excels in both battle positions. Your opponent can't put her into a vulnerable state with position-altering tricks. And if she was ritual summon only using ritual monsters as a tribute, she can make a second attack during every battle phase. Okay, sure. Versatile and deadly. She stands among the best ritual units of all time. Okay, sure. Okay. That's fine. I mean, whatever. Number 3, Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Cute card for sure. Can only be ritual summoned. Abandon any hope of reviving it when defeated. But good luck taking it down. I mean, this is a good card. It's definitely a really powerful card that's more of a win more, but when you put it out, it's hard to get over. You can kaiju it. That's pretty much the only real out to it, and it's double damage, so it's really good. Doubles damage, tearing through defenders with enough force to win the duel. Link monsters don't have a defense, so it doesn't matter, but if you combine it with Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, it chains them to defense position and hit them with twice the hurt. Just watch out for Chaos Max's ironic weakness. It wields an atrocious defense score of 0. So number 3 is Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Number 2, the second best ritual monster ever printed. Demise, Supreme King of Armageddon. Not the original Demise, this one. This card right here, that many of you may not even know exists. You can ritual summon this card with Endless of the World. I forget exactly what it does. If ritual summon using only ritual monsters, you don't have to pay life points to activate its effect. Once per turn, pay 2,000 life points, share as many other cards on the field as possible. It's cute. See what he says here. Additionally, if ritual summon, your ritual monster cannot be destroyed by battle. A tantalizing protection that guards not just him, but all your units. When this vanquishes your cards as well, it clears the path for a direct attack. And Supreme King can activate this effect again on your next turn, giving them a very limited window to remove this dangerous Dark Fiend. This Dark Fiend that can quite literally just be like pop with any literal card effect at all. Like it has no card effect protection. And the number 1, the best ritual monster of all time in existence, Cyber Angel Vrash. Number 1. This is number 1 on this list. Not quite as powerful as our last 2 legends, then why is it number 1? This level 10 monster still wields a formidable 3,000 attack. It can be summoned with Machine Angel Ritual. When ritual summoned, you can destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent controls that were summoned from the extra deck for 1,000 damage each. For high attack, multi-use ritual spell synergy with her archetype, entrance, ignition, burn damage, multiple attacks, and shielding. It's a must for any ritual deck I make. Yet despite her prowess, you can buy your own copy for surprisingly low prices, costing you less than $1. So I didn't know this was the best ritual card in the game. I really appreciate him clearing this up. If you guys don't have this, I would go buy like 100, because they're less than $1. Future of ritual monsters. Despite being one of Yu-Gi-Oh's oldest monster types, they're a surprisingly rare lot, outnumbered by just about every other monster type. They're a hardy bunch, and whenever one hits the field, you know you're in for a desperate challenge. Desperate challenge. That's true. Fortress Whale has always been intimidating. Since they transition particularly well through the Master Rules that have limited access, they're fighting harder than ever. Make sure to support them with cards like Jin, and you'll overwhelm your foe before you know what hit them. But as now we eagerly await Konami's future Ceremonial Warriors, vote for your favorite ritual. I mean, I have to vote for Cyber Angel Dakini, because Hungry Burger's not there, right? The Blue Eyes Chaos Max won that one. Alright, listen. Guys. I can't with this list, okay? Like, this list might be one of the worst top 10 lists I've ever seen. How do you make a top 10 list of best ritual monsters and leave off cards like Cyber Angel Ben 10, leave off cards like Herald of Perfection, cards that are actually, like, genuinely some of the best support cards rituals I've ever seen, and aren't these? Like, this is why top 10 lists bother me, because there's just no effort put into this. Like, you can put a lot of big words and then directly contradict yourself, but this is not a top 10 ritual monsters list. This is a top 10 example of bad top 10 lists. I don't know. But here, I went ahead and made my own to show you guys, and hopefully you like it, and it's definitely going to really take you through the top 10, because I think it's important to establish the fact that ritual monsters are very powerful, and yeah, so let's take a look at my top 10 ritual monster list, and if you guys did enjoy this video, please like it and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video.